Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It is time for Wrestling is Silly, the greatest wrestling show ever to come to you, hosted by a human and a crocodile. Crocodile in question joining me this week. You know them, you love them, the only janitor we have on the staff here from the Let's Praise podcast, Matt Speaks Words. Matt, how are you doing this evening?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm back from the janitor's closet where I also sleep most nights. I'm doing well, Eden. I'm really excited for this evening's run of incredible matches. It's a high tension time, and especially behind the scenes, extremely high tension. Feels like people are getting ready. Fireworks are kind of building behind the scenes.
Indeed, high tension is very much the word for it, because of course we've got of course wrestling is just a bunch of big personalities slapping against each other, but especially right now we've got all that stuff with Princess Peach kicking off, and now we've got the Springfield Sports Center and Fight Boy Friends, and just I don't envy the amount of time you spend backstage. I don't know how you do it. I mean,
it's sweaty, Eden.
I mean, it's sweaty everywhere. That's summertime for you, isn't it?
I suppose so, but these folks sweat more than some folks sweat more than others. Obviously, we do have fighters that don't sweat at all. Freddy Krueger, no glands left.
That's news to me. I mean, I suppose they were all burnt off in the fire. That makes sense.
Exactly. Yes, the fire, and being a sort of spirit ghost person, but. Other people certainly make up for it. The fans aren't going to want to hear this, but Mackie Chase leaves trails everywhere he goes.
I mean, if I had to guess the greasiest guy on the roster, Mackie Chase would probably be my first choice. The man is sentient mac and cheese, and not even good mac and cheese. He's Kraft mac and cheese, the greasiest cheese around.
I've put in a funding request for a mop Roomba to follow him around everywhere. Obviously, it was denied.
I mean, I might have to reconsider that. The mop Roomba probably is a good idea. But I don't know. Maybe who did you file this to? Because it couldn't have been me. I would have said yes.
Well, it was on your desk for a few days, but then I realised that your desk is a stack of boxes. So, maybe I put it on a dining room table. I was just looking for a desk.
That wasn't my actual desk. That was my fake desk that I tell people to put papers on when I don't want to read them.
Oh, the decoy desk.
Yes, the decoy desk. You got to have a decoy desk. Everyone has a decoy desk.
Yes, I remember reading the inventory.
But also in wrestling, there's a lot of tables around. Usually they don't last very long. The decoy desk helps, because if it was a real desk, somebody's just going to get powerbombed through it, and I don't have time to be replacing my desk every week.
Yes, that's fair enough. I do have to carry the new ones in every time that does happen.
See, I'm helping you out here. I'm helping you, helping me. Everyone's helping each other.
The decoy desk made of boxes. I do appreciate it.
See, you say you make out that I'm a terrible boss because I apparently don't pay you, but I'm saving you so much time and effort right now. You don't want to be lugging the desks around every week.
Well, I suppose it could be worse. Hey.
It could indeed be worse. You could actually have to get in the ring, like the intrepid wrestlers on the show tonight, and in fact, like myself. I'm
of course a particularly non-combative person. You'd have to get me very, very angry to get me to fight.
There's always room on our special events on our pay-per-views. Maybe one day you could step between those ropes.
I just can't see it coming.
One day. I'll keep working at it. Anyway, moving our attention along to tonight's entertainment. I don't think this fox is hunting. So let's move swiftly on to tonight's entertainment. We are opening tonight with He-Man's Twitch title open challenge. He was angry is not quite the right word. He was just disappointed that there wasn't time for a Twitch Open challenge last week at Heatwave. So he has said he's going to open the show with any one challenger, basically the first guy to get into the ring, and he will challenge them to an open challenge for his Twitch title. Now, are you hopeful for anyone to come through, or are you just happy to see whoever you think can run the fastest?
I mean, is that how it works? I've never quite known how. Is it just everyone gets released? I've noticed the simultaneous locks on the doors for the locker rooms, but is it just you just open the doors and see who gets there first?
I mean, it's not like we lock everybody in or anything.
Oh, am I not supposed to do that?
No, this isn't prison.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Well, they just kept making a mess outside the.
I mean, I suppose that makes sense. But for He-Man specifically, he has said the first person to get to the ring can get a title shot. So I suppose it means it is kind of a race, but also whoever is within earshot when he said that. I don't know. I don't know if he said it out loud or not. I don't know if he tweeted it or if he's just telling me now. Maybe I'm making the announcement now and he hasn't told anybody. So basically, if you're backstage and you got your gear, you fancy a title shot, get your ass down to the ring.
I've only got little legs, so I'm not going to head over there. But I'll tell you what. I'm personally, I'm hoping for Wallace.
Wallace, that is
Wallace.
I mean, he's already the flippy shit champion. If he could maybe get 2 belts on him, that would be a very, very impressive run. And he is red hot right now.
He is. He's you know, like he'd have to have some extra supported leg wear to carry 2 belts.
If anyone can come up with some form of extra supportive leg wear, I'm sure it's him.
Yes, I'd think so.
And that leg wear probably would help him run faster to the ring. So I think we've given people enough time to make their way to the ring. We've given enough people in chat enough time to pontificate on who it might be. Shall we find out who it is? Shall we go down to the ring for the first time this evening for your Twitch Championship Open Challenge, your opening match of this evening? Let's go down and see who it is.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Internet's Wrestling Championship.
Thank you for the announcement. Oh, what a guy! It is the one and only, the greasy boy himself.
The fan favorite.
Mackie.
As you can see, leaving a trail as he goes. Mackie cheese.
That's just his cape.
Well, okay. I guess I did suggest he wear something that might maybe like mop it up after him. So
yeah, maybe that's why the cape is there. He's mopping up after himself.
He's a pretty nice guy like that.
Such a kind-hearted gentleman. I mean, this is very much a match of the kind-hearted gentleman because not only do we have Mackie Chase, but of course fighting with the Twitch title, our current champion, He-Man. Made a huge 180 turn recently to become very much the people's champion.
Is it normal for him to come on with Princess Peach?
I mean, no. She seems to be coming out in his corner, which, you know, after all of the shenanigans that have taken place between these two and Mr. M, of course, Mr. M making an attempt to get into the women's locker room to try and talk to Princess Peach, and it was He-Man that pulled him aside. Maybe she's seeking safety with him. Maybe she's maybe this is just kind of a fuck you to Mr. M after he demanded she come out with him.
I mean, yeah, it could be that she's just here to back anyone who's going to punch Mr. M in the face. Or, you know, it could be a royal solidarity.
Of course, He-Man is in fact a prince. I'd forgotten about that.
It could be a sort of like a class warfare against against a plumber.
I mean, he's a bit more than just a plumber, though, isn't he? He's basically royalty himself.
I was being slightly hyperbolic. Yeah, he is. He is more than just a plumber. You know, his trail, of course, says that he pulled himself up by his own enormous green boot straps. But the amount of coins he stole, he embezzled from the corporate world was not to mention the malpractice suits.
Of course, yeah. I mean, and all the rigged golf games, rigged football games, rigged tennis games,
and fighting tournaments. Let's not forget he's got a long history of putting together the taking Luigi's name in vain. The Bros brawls he put together. It's a long history of quite difficult.
A lot of nefarious work in his past. But Mackie Chase out the gate with a Spanish fly, getting a very quick cover, but only a 1 count from He-Man. Of course, the Spanish fly, the finisher of Mr. M. Just a total coincidence there. The running shooting star press as well. Mackie Chase is not messing around today.
That's a symbolic pin, I think. The one count. It shows he means business.
Of course, yeah. It's to get it. It's to again, like you said, it's to show he means business. It's to get in the head of He-Man, and now showing a bit more of that more capricious fighting style that we've come to know from Mackie Chase with the spinning tiaras, but just kicks to the back and targeting the small of the back like that. When you're a big wrestler like He-Man that relies on the power, targeting the small of the back, that's gonna really hamper him. Can't lift a guy above your head if your back gives out.
It's true, but it's important to remember that Mackie Chase had a poor grip on anatomy.
True. Speaking of a poor grip, He-Man, a poor grip on depth perception there, going for that big splash, but obviously trying to emulate. And Mackie Chase again going for that tope. He-Man a little bit too quick though, managing to get up particularly unscathed out of it and hitting a huge backstabber to try and even the odds. But I don't know, falling out the ring onto your back like that ain't gonna do Mackie any favors. It's not slowed him down though.
Certainly not.
Now throwing He-Man around into those barricades. See, Mackie has to rely on his speed. He cannot outstrength He-Man. He must know that.
He knows He-Man's got the power.
Mm-hmm. He lives by the power. So, He-Man now back into the ring on I think a 6 count. Mackie managing to beat the count once again. Gut punch and the cutter over the top rope. Beautiful moves by Mackie Chase.
I believe I've heard him calling that one the Pierce film several times.
And sorry, the what?
Pierce film several times. It's not a snappy name.
Pierce film several times. I mean, so some of the best wrestling moves have the most roundabout names. Technical Master Zack Sabre Jr. has, of course, the Tesco meal deal, and the Barry from EastEnders as 2 of his signature moves.
Yes, of course.
You don't know if I'm making that up, and that is the best thing. Big Saito suplex there from He-Man. Mackie Chase almost landing on that tight curl.
I almost saw some of that pasta lose corporation and slough off, but no.
He's quite literally keeping it together right now.
Yeah.
He-Man with Mackie Chase up on the shoulders. Mackie Chase slipping out the back door into the reverse DDT. He-Man has a lot of bad moves when you're up in that position. Of course, there's the torture rack, the Doctor Bomb, the Gonzo Bomb, and you don't want to be caught by a single one of those. The butterfly suplex though. Don't want to be caught by that either. Mackie Chase eagerly slipping out the back door of that shoulder position. Catching a knee to the temple there. It's gonna rock him. I don't care if you made a cheese. Getting hit in the temples is gonna rock you.
And there he kicking him right in the starch there.
It's.
You wouldn't think, because he doesn't have vital organs.
No.
But he does have some clumps of very starchy pasta in there.
And of course, they're focused on his thighs, which is why he can get away with all of the flips he does. Ooh, playing possum with He-Man there, goading He-Man into a tope con hero. We don't often see He-Man leave the ground like this, and both times he's tried this match, it's worked out in Mackie's favor. Oh, going for the half and half, but again, Mackie's got his number. Mackie is used to fighting wrestlers bigger than him, using their own strength, their own size against them. Moves like the X Factor just then, using all of He-Man's weight against him to get a higher impact on that move.
That's it. His slippery nature really does keep him and set him above the rest oftentimes. Means he can fight at a sort of higher weight class.
Going into the higher end district now. The Avalanche Bulldog off the top rope. Beautiful move there. Can he make the pin though? Ooh, just a 2 for now, but I think our current Twitch champion is rocked right now. I don't think he was expecting such fierce offense from a man as small as the Mac and Cheese Man. Huge rolling bulldog there. Can he get it this time? Ooh.
He can't be far off, and that wasn't, was it? That was just shy of a 3.
Just shy, a very, very close call there. Very, very interesting. He-Man, I'm not sure he knew where he was in the ring, because he could have gotten his foot on the rope, but instead opting to kick out. Ooh, and hitting the Falcon Arrow, showing he's not entirely out of this match.
When you take a fall like that, I wouldn't know where I was.
No. Oh, but there we go. The power of Grayskull connects. Mackie Chase in a very precarious position right now, but managing to maneuver into the ropes and break that pin. Intelligent work there from the challenger.
And you'll notice he slid about 15 degrees toward that rope. Like, this is the power of that extra glide that Mackie Chase has.
Mackie Chase. He-Man taking a moment to showboat as Mackie drags himself up by the ropes. The spear doesn't connect, and the springboard Hurricane Rana does, though. Mackie Chase bouncing back. Like you said, he's got these starchy compounds. They allow him to be this springy, both literally and metaphorically. What's he got in store now? Once He-Man on his feet. Could this be it? Oh, no! He-Man had him scouted. The power bomb. There we go. Could this be it?
Not quite.
But again, the ring positioning slightly better now, forcing Mackie to kick out that time.
And you can tell that to go a little deeper here. You can tell that He-Man wants to be a fan favorite. You know, he wants the crowd with him. You can see him showboating. You can see him appealing to the doing right by people generally. I think he's a person. He's a competitor who wants to be seen to be, I guess, the protagonist of his own story. But you can just hear the crowd as Mackie takes it to him.
Indeed.
They are not willing to compromise.
I mean, He-Man did turn his story around with the departure of the Empire and how he got this title, but there are some people you just cannot outmaneuver, and Mackie Chase is one of them. See, right then, the bulldog on the outside, the huge tope. It's not just, they're not just cheering for the underdog. He's explosive. He's creative. Watching him in the ring is just something else. So I don't care how well liked you are. When you're against Mackie, you're going to be the bad guy. I don't think He-Man likes that right now. I think he's done being the bad guy. Ooh! Speaking of, though, Mackie Chase went for that flavor packet, but He-Man countering with a huge lariat, and now the power of Grayskull once again. Center of the ring, no ropes for Mackie to grab this time. Is this going to be it? No!
That looks like the last ounce of energy Mackie could, the last bit of spring. I mean, though that mac and cheese will last for centuries, but the energy behind him?
That'll decay over time, and I think we're seeing the decay in live action now. That was a desperation kick out, and I think this is very much running on fumes now. Oh, step up Enziguri. What? Oh, a nice bit of explosiveness. Ooh, beautiful sliding Hurricane Rana there. I didn't think he had the energy in him for something like that, but the fight once again spilling to the outside. Oh, and an X Factor
Who
on the
knows?
outside. That is not a fun move to take.
Who knows from where this cheese flows?
Indeed, it seems to be this conglomerate of mac and cheese seems to be an endless fountain of energy. Every time you think he's down and out, there's another spoonful in there somewhere. Now He-Man running to the inside, maybe to leave Mackie to win via count out. Can Mackie get up in time? The count is on 9. Go on, Mackie. Go on. Go on, beat the count. Oh! Very, very close. But the match continues. Very, very unsportsmanlike move there from He-Man, allowing Mackie to lose via count out. You think
It's not what you'd like to see.
It's not what you'd like to see, but it's a way for He-Man to ensure that he keeps his title, and I think he's getting to that point of desperation in this match. Oh, I think we're seeing a third Power of Grayskull once again. That's got to be it. That has got to be it for Mac and Cheese Man.
There he goes. Consider that title defended.
Indeed. What a defense, though. What a defense. I don't think anyone expected Mac and Cheese Man to go that hard against a powerhouse like the Mac and Cheese Man. So, sorry, like He-Man. But he really did show that he is not one to be trifled with. But once again, coming ever so close to the big one and not quite making it. I feel for him. I gotta say, I feel for him.
And it'll only build his legend in the long run. He's always going to bounce back. That cheese is so rubbery. It'll always come springing back. And all it does is kind of build it ages like a fine cheddar, doesn't it? Really.
It does indeed. I feel like Mac and Cheese Man's entire career has aged like a fine cheese. He came in as a bit of a joke, a bit of an underdog, part of the food division, but he as soon as he captured the hearts of the Wrestling is Silly crowd, he very much took that energy and has run with it to now. This is his second title opportunity, and while he hasn't managed to corner either of them, he still has the hearts of the audience. I think I'm very interested to see the next stage of the Mac and Cheese Man's career. Every time we see him, he gets better.
And likewise with Prince Adam. I mean, it clearly not the favorite, or certainly the predicted favorite, but not perhaps the fan favorite for that match. But for the most part, it seemed to fight fairly honourable, with one notable exception, perhaps a desperation play toward the end, a little bit of acknowledgement that Mackie Cheese was his match, and that He-Man needed to get this done and done quickly before truly risking that title. But I am interested to see where this sort of monarchy kind of combination of He-Man and Peach is going.
Speaking of the combination of He-Man and Peach, I apologize. I was supposed to announce it during that match, but it was just such an action-packed match that there wasn't really a spot for me to announce it. Speaking of the Monarchy Alliance of Princess Peach and He-Man, I can reveal that after Princess Peach laid out the challenge to Mr. M, the only way they're showing a ring together is on opposite sides of it. I can confirm that Mr. M has accepted that challenge, and next week we will be seeing a mixed tag match, He-Man and Princess Peach versus Mr. M and, well, whoever he can get to agree to be in a team with him.
I don't know who'll even share a room with him. Never mind.
I mean, he's very much burned every single bridge in Wrestling is Silly so far. So I don't know who, but he has said that there's going to be somebody. He said that there's going to be a woman on his side. So I guess time will tell. Tune in next week on Wrestling is Silly for that. And yeah, maybe he'll find. I honestly, I don't know who to imagine will be Mario's partner next week. But speaking of partners, our tag title changed hands last week at Wrestling City Heatwave. The Fight Boyfriends sadly losing their title to the Springfield Sports Center. And I gotta say, me personally, I haven't seen Majima since the bell rang at the end of that match. I haven't seen hide nor hair of him all week. And I don't think Zach has either, otherwise he would have mentioned it just then. Welcome to the stream, Zach. But he seems to be taking the loss quite poorly. However, the protege of the Fight Boyfriends, Ichiban, had one hell of a showing at the Royal Rumble, the Summertime Silliness Battle Royal last week. He and Glamrock Freddy had a little bit of a tete-a-tete, a little bit of an extended rivalry during that match. And we have decided that they deserve a little bit more time between them. So, your next match for this evening, one-on-one Glamrock Freddy versus Kasuga Ichiban. No over-the-top rope eliminations this time. This is a standard match. Let's see how these two fare one-on-one in the ring. Do you have any insight on any of these two? Any predictions for this match before we begin?
I mean, here's two very popular combatants. It's hard to say like who is going to come out the favorite here, the fan favorite. I'm withholding judgment on this. I didn't see the tag team match last week. I was too busy. It's the only time I managed to get into the changing rooms to actually clean sometimes. But I am excited to find out what you could say I'm in suspense, trying to figure out what's who's going to come out on top here.
I mean, if you haven't watched it, you can go find the VOD over on YouTube, youtube.com/@WrestlingIsSilly. Make sure you do catch that. But in the meantime, let's go. Glamrock Freddy versus Kasuga Ichiban. Let's go down to the ring and see how all of this shakes out. Get your predictions in right now as well. Spend those hard-earned fabulous booty to make your prediction.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from New Jersey, weighing in at 335 pounds, the Rockstar, Eddie.
I keep telling him Glamrock Freddy, but he insists it's the Rockstar Eddie.
Rockstar Eddie. I mean, I can see where he's made the mistake. But it's very much like when someone gets something into their head, and every time, the lights go on, the mic's in his hand, he just defaults back to the thing he thinks he knows.
Yeah, I mean, this announcer, he makes a lot of weird decisions in his announcing, but we simply cannot afford a better one, and we keep asking him not to show up. I can do it myself, but he insists.
Ken, his name is.
Ken?
Yeah. I
Thank
know
you.
you don't know the name of your employees, but and he isn't technically one anymore. So
one, he's not an employee. I never told him to come. And two, he I don't know. I don't need him. Get interesting.
He gets it wrong sometimes.
It's sometimes. I appreciate he's trying his best, but yeah.
He's had a difficult couple of months.
So what was the excuse before then?
Listen, it's not an easy job.
It is. You're reading names.
I would put it to you that the names are very silly.
I mean, yes, granted, the names are very silly.
So, in some ways, it's not his fault.
Okay, granted that. I'll grant you that the names are very, very silly, but speaking of silly, interesting that once again, Kiryu coming to the ring with Ichiban. No Majima to be seen at all. Ichiban though picking up right where they left off last Wednesday at Heatwave raining strikes down on Glamrock Freddy. He is not getting off to the most powered up start. Maybe he forgot to get in a charging station before the match. Oh, going up some sort of torture rack there. Oh, into a swinging neck breaker. Long way down off that huge bear. Oh, and a low drop kick to the side of the head.
And it is interesting to see, Freddy, of course, being the only combatant I can think of that does consistently run on batteries.
I mean, our new women's champion 2B, I think she runs on she also has a charging station, I believe.
She does, yeah. It's more of a power core, I think, 2B.
True. Definitely, they definitely don't share charging stations, so it's not the same thing.
No, I think if Freddy got in 2B's power station, I genuinely think we might see a massive detonation.
I think he would explode on sight, yeah. It is far too advanced technology for him, but Freddy up on the top rope now, getting to the higher end district. This is not his average move, but a huge drop kick to the head of Ichiban, getting a very quick cover. Ichiban, though, kicking out at one. A very, very dominant kick out there. Yeah, ooh, quick roll and a big running knee strike right to the head of Glamrock Freddy. Quick Irish whip. Oh, good. The go behind. Quick German suplex there. The technical prowess on display here. I didn't expect Glamrock Freddy to be such an accomplished technical wrestler, but he's proven he's got those fundamentals down.
Technical he is, and of course, well on the top ropes, an expert, having spent all that time clambering around in vents.
Indeed, that is true. Like being in vents and high up, I forget that the Freddy that we're seeing now is the same Freddy that we saw before his remodel. He's got Ichiban in a very, very awkward looking sleeper hold there. The high waist on the sleeper hold, forcing Ichiban to not only try and break out of the neck, but keep his feet on the ground as well. Again, it's the technical know-how that I wasn't expecting. And now Ichiban back up on his feet, though. The Superman punch connects. A move he has learnt from his teacher, but could not get the pin off it. Kiryu seeing a little fist pump there when he saw Ichiban land that Superman punch, and a beautiful tope con hero there. Superman punch, of course, a move that we see Kiryu has ended matches with before. Nice to see that mentorship is coming in handy between these two men. Now the fight spilling onto the outside. Kiryu watching, not interrupting at all, of course, knowing that Ichiban has got to solve the problem on his own.
This is the thing. Sometimes you got to let the chick fly the nest. You gotta let them take care of themselves.
Indeed. The count now up on an 8 count now. These two competitors. Ichiban, face first onto the apron. That is the hardest part of the ring. And is this going to be it?
There's Freddy top roping. Good grief.
Disrespectful end to the match there from Glamrock Freddy.
Climbing back into his perch, into his control box.
A very, very interesting end to the match there. It looked like they had some pretty good head-to-head on display there, but then as soon as it got a little bit rough for Freddy, he retreats to that turnbuckle and gets a disrespectful win. And I don't think that's the ending that anybody wanted to see, but that definitely is not going to be the end of those two men face to face. I'm disappointed. I think it's fair to say you're disappointed as well.
I could have done with a little more passion to that. Certainly, it was a technical match, like you said, and it seemed like Freddy just wanted it to have it over and done with. It didn't seem like he was enjoying the fight nearly so much as perhaps one would expect coming up against Ichiban.
I mean, after their furious display against each other in the battle royal last week, I would have expected they would have jumped at the chance to fight against each other, and Ichiban certainly did. But The second that it got a little bit hard for Glamrock Freddy, the second Ichiban started properly fighting back, Glamrock, he ended the match as quick as he could, and it's not the kind of fighting we like to see here at Wrestling is Silly. I mean, that's the disrespect on show. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
But it's part and parcel, I think, of coming into it's been a busy week, and like last week there were quite a few intense matches by the sounds of it. Perhaps Freddy just needed a bit of time to readjust, reprogram, and kind of set his sights on the next peak.
Maybe he did. Maybe he just needs a little bit of time to reset and recharge. So I don't know. We'll get a word backstage with him. See if he wants to try again. See what Ichiban feels. But I don't know. That's not what anyone wanted to see. Let's move on to something a little bit nicer, a little bit happier. Last week at Wrestling is City Heatwave, the Women's World Champion was decided once and for all, and 2B came out on top. It was a hard-fought match between her and the Princess, but 2B inevitably came out on top. And this week she is not resting on her laurels. She's not resting for a moment. She is facing a brand new entrant to the women's division. She has handpicked a contender from the indie wrestling scene. She has handpicked Wii Fit Trainer for her first match as champion. This is not a title match. The title is not on up for grabs during this match, but I think this is Wii Fit Trainer's opportunity to really come out with a bang. I mean, look what happened last time. We had somebody brand new facing the champion. Look what happened when Harry gave the Colonel his first pin. If Wii Fit Trainer can have an opening nearly that explosive, we could see something incredible here. But at the same time, 2B fighting to start a title run on the right track. What do you think to this matchup?
I think it's I think it could easily be an exciting match. It's exciting to see fresh talent in the ring, and I think 2B is kind of starting off this title run right by kind of bringing in new energy and sort of like showing off the sort of the kind of title run that she intends to have, I suppose. Good energetic, less toxic wrestling. 2B is can come across cold, I think, in interviews and behind the scenes. But in the ring, she's a proponent of the sport. She's a proponent of that the show, I guess. And I think we're gonna see all that here, and I'm excited to see what Wii Fit Trainer can do.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're correct. She comes off a little bit cold, but she means business, and she's got an appreciation for wrestling as a sport, as an art form. I think bringing in Wii Fit Trainer, of course, very, very lauded on the indie scene as a technical goddess, a goddess of technical wrestling. She's showing that these two. I think these two are going to put on an absolute clinic. I think whatever happens, this is going to be one hell of a match. So let's get down to the ring and see just how 2B kicks off her title reign.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Valhalla, the Women's World Champion, the 2B.
I don't think Ken knows what's a title and what isn't.
No, the 2B. I mean, it's close, but
it is close. I don't know whether because she's a robot, he thinks that it's somehow a kind of she's somehow a kind of a piece of equipment or something. But I'll have a word.
Yeah, have a word. Of course, she putting a lot of prestige on that women's world champion belt. She's wearing it with pride, giving it the prestige it deserves, walking down to the ring. But I feel like she's going to make for a very good champ.
From Kyoto, Japan, the Super Athletes.
Wii Fit trainer now making her way down to the ring.
Seems confident. She's liking the limelight, the larger ring. I think she's gonna fit. She's gonna fit right in.
Oh yeah, she'll fit right in here. I mean, this of course, of her only sort of background in front of crowds is as an aerobics instructor, as you well know. And while it's a very, very different atmosphere, she's at least she's used to having eyes on her.
Yeah, and it's she's come a long way from doing classic rock Peloton rides all the way up to here.
It's a long journey, but she's definitely got the stamina to see it through. Let's ring the bell. And very, very interesting opening. 2B tried to duck a clothesline. Wii Fit trainer had her scouted, but 2B managing to power out right into a code breaker. So it's a very interesting, very technical back and forth, but it was 2B's power that got the upper hand, and a huge diving crossbody getting the cover.
And the weight with which 2B lands is just phenomenal. It's like a meteor.
Yeah, I mean, she is. Like a meteor is exactly the right word for it. I mean, at that angle with that much force, I mean, I'm surprised that Wii Fit trainer, even at this early time, could kick out so early. And now, goading 2B to come out, getting the butterfly into a very, very sharp butterfly suplex. Again, beautiful form, beautiful technique here from Wii Fit trainer, but you wouldn't expect any less. And now a series of just forearm strikes from 2B. Again, going back to that well of power. Oh, going for the German, but again, Wii Fit trainer had her number.
Reversal.
And it was the arm drag reversal into that sliding lariat. And now, textbook backbreaker here.
Of course, a Wii Fit trainer, not without her own story. Having come from that aerobics instruction background, she's going to need all of that kind of energy to get back in the fight at this point.
Very, very true. And now 2B again trying to goad Wii Fit trainer into getting back in the ring, and she just about breaks the count. That to me looked like a test from 2B. She was testing the new recruit, testing that aerobics background, that fitness background. And Wii Fit trainer did not fail that test.
Certainly saying, if you can't get back in this ring with me, you are not fit to be part of this organization, to be in this ring. But of course, it's happened before. Wii Fit instructor, of course, ousted from her previous job by an enormous buff dragon.
I mean, and that buff dragon hits almost as hard as that katana kick does. 2B getting the cover. But this time, Wii Fit trainer managing to force her way out of it. Like you said, she was ousted from her last job, replaced by somebody almost the same, but not quite as good in the Ring Fit trainer. But that buff dragon, maybe one to look for the future of wrestling, is silly. I mean, he looks like he'd fit right in.
I mean, certainly if sparks would fly if the two of them ever got into the same ring.
It would surely be something. I might have to make some phone calls, see if I can get a hold of him and get. Once again,
Drago on the line. He's a bit of a having had some previous experience with him during the lockdowns. He can be a bit of a prick.
Yeah, I mean, I wondered how you were going to phrase that, but yeah, he's very. I'm glad you're up front with it. He's a prick. He's a pompous asshole. But sometimes that kind of thing is exactly what a promotion like this needs. I think it'd give the Colonel a run for his money.
Certainly.
Oh, We Fit Trainer now on top again, using her technical prowess to get around the sheer power of 2B. Now just driving the knee into the back of the head.
And maybe this is it. Maybe what We Fit Trainer needs is just this level of competition, this level of fire.
Oh, a very, very deep Jujikatami locked in. Again, We Fit Trainer knows exactly where on the arm to push, where to press to get the most impact out of that submission. But 2B, once again, powering her way out of it. This is very much a match of power versus technique. It's very interesting to see who steps out on top. Oh, the sleep and the duck into that beautiful combination, taking We Fit Trainer out. Could this be it? No.
No, it could not. To be not happy about that.
No, very much not happy. I don't think she expected this much out of a new recruit. I mean, Zach mentioned in the chat with a hammerlock suplex there. I think this to be looking for another one of those katana kicks. We Fit with the elbow up and the rainbow DDT lands. Gerandria, welcome to the show. You're just in time for this women's match. To be the current women's world champion versus We Fit Trainer. And also thank you very much for the hydrate. I'm going to take a moment.
And you can tell that 2B is making sure that We Fit Trainer has time to really come into her own here. Multiple times this match, we have seen 2B pause, wait for We Fit Trainer to kind of gather herself.
But
I think 2B knows the potential she has.
I think so too, but unfortunately, when you let someone like the We Fit Trainer get their composure, you get positions like that. We had the exploder driver just then, 2B being dropped right on her head, but she had that intelligence even after taking a big move like that to roll out of the ring. Even at her worst, she knows roll out the ring and you ain't gonna get pinned. And here she is back on top. This is why she's the champion. But We Fit Trainer now returning fire with a few blows of her own. Oh, wrist control wasn't all she needed though. The two of them now exchanging forearms back and forth. Oh, belly to belly slam there from We Fit Trainer, but 2B rolling out the way of the elbow and hitting her with a spear on the outside.
The back and forth here is admirable.
These two very well matched for one another. We Fit Trainer now throwing 2B into the barricade, making her way back inside, almost reversing the test we saw earlier. Oh no, We Fit Trainer back out. Just wanted to reset the count apparently, but being thrown right onto the ramp for even daring to test the champion, I think. This could get ugly very fast. I mean, it's already sort of got ugly right now. Oh.
And this is the point at which later on in the match, this is the point at which you'd start to expect the lack of experience to start to pull at We Fit Trainers, composure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the longer this match goes, the longer it favors the champion because you get that match knowledge, that ring generalship. But the bow and arrow stretch from We Fit Trainer. Like I said, she's got the stamina, she's got the aerobic background. If she can rely on these submission holds, then she can make that energy last a lot longer. Can barely put a run together right now. Both competitors absolutely shattered. Again, that bow and arrow stretch on the outside. 2B cannot tap out on the outside, so that was clearly to try and get some sort of just to get some pain in. But a questionably legal armbar using the ropes to try and get more leverage off it. I mean, these two are exchanging a lot blow for blow. Oh, but another very vicious spear on the outside. That's gonna tie things up in 2B's favor. Oh, hammerlock, and now the second arm. Oh, a horrible extension on that second arm. Oh,
Getting a little vicious. I mean, maybe perhaps this is a test by 2B. you know, we've seen these two. Certainly, it seemed like these two have a not a particularly malicious relationship, but here in the ring, it seems like blood's boiling a little bit as the match goes on.
Ooh. Beautiful belly-to-belly suplex there from 2B, and I think I don't know if this is a malicious thing between these two. I mean, wrestling as an industry. I mean, if these two really want to get the best out of each other, then it's gonna look malicious. It's gonna look like they hate each other. But I think they just want to get a good match out of one another, and so they're driving each other to get that 100%. And if that means DDTing your friend onto the mat, I mean, that's what it means. But we're definitely seeing both of these competitors at their best.
Very best. This is a phenomenal match to watch.
Oh, an elbow drop right to the spine of 2B. Could this be the decider? No. 2B with
Good
a
ring placement, though.
very good ring placement. You notice Wii Fit trying to place herself between 2B and the ropes, so that she couldn't get that kick out. She didn't get that rope break. I think she was going for that Jujikatami once again, but the forearm was in the way that time, and the rolling kick there to the face of Wii Fit Trainer. 2B back in control once again. Soulbutt connects into the ropes. Oh, and the hip attack takes Wii Fit Trainer down. A little bit of a Naruto run there, showing 2B isn't all business. And the huge frog splash once again. Again, like we said, the longevity of the match went in the favor of the champion. 2B Wii Fit Trainer rolling out, forcing 2B to roll out, only to get back in, giving Wii Fit Trainer the time to get a breath back. Intelligent play from someone so inexperienced in the ring.
It is indeed, and I think just making the most of that stamina. She knows she has it, right? She knows she's been slumming it as a Peloton instructor for years.
Oh, desperation sleeper hold there from 2B. Maybe relying on Wii Fit Trainer's lack of experience to not get that rope break. But even if by accident she got it, and there's the Jujikatami locked in. Instantly, though, 2B was able to break out, and a big, huge drop kick, forcing Wii Fit Trainer to try and pick herself up by the ropes, and using the ropes for that huge rope assisted powerbomb. Again, it's this explosive power that is why the champion has the advantage. But I gotta say, this match has gone on a lot longer than I would have expected, considering this is Wii Fit Trainer's first appearance. I thought this was going to be a relative squash match, but she's really lifted Wii Fit Trainer up to her best.
I think, and that feels like the message here, right? This, if 2B wanted to show me just what Wii Fit Trainer can do, I think message received.
I think she thought she had it under wraps there with that katana kick, but Wii Fit Trainer had the block up. And this match is not over yet with a huge lariat. 2B thrown over the edge. And another explosive burst of power here from Wii Fit Trainer. Do you think Wii Fit Trainer was maybe playing possum there to try and goad 2B in? Or was it a desperation block?
Simply breathing.
Simply breathing. Maybe so. She's got an almost healing power out of that deep breathing, so maybe you're right. Maybe she just knows how to recover faster. Ooh, well, the vicious enziguri there. I felt that from all the way here in the commentary booth. Wii Fit Trainer looking very, very worse for her right now. 2B up in the high rent district. Huge, big Macho Man elbow there. This is not looking good for Wii Fit Trainer.
To get hit by 2B off the top ropes, it's like getting hit by a fighter plane.
Mm-hmm. It is a dive bomb from a fighter plane, and that got the victory for our women's champion 2B. But what a match! What a show of force! I think
an incredible match. That's going to be a highlight, certainly.
I mean, what a way to kick off your reign as women's champion. Not like she could have picked somebody new and just squashed her, and that would have been it. But she opted to lift somebody from the indies up to the big leagues and show the world, I'm going to put on good matches. I'm going to be a fighting champion. And we got maybe one of the best women's matches that we've seen so far. I have, off the back of that, I've got real good hopes for 2B in her title reign.
I think you're correct there. I think I fully agree with you. It's phenomenal to see, 2B's ability as a role model to bring up kind of new talent up to their best.
Yeah, I mean it's a really positive outlook. I mean we've had a lot of really, for lack of a better word, shitty champions here at Wrestling is Silly, that the power's gone to the head and they've just turned into these like megalomaniacs. But 2B, if this is any example, if she's going to continue to lift up talent like this, I think she's going to be one hell of a champion. But her title reign may not last very long, because up next is a ladder match to determine who will be the holder of the women's smiley case. So this is, like I said, there's going to be a ladder match, so the smiley case is going to be dangled from the top of the ring, and whoever can unlock those locks and get that briefcase off that hook will hold the women's smiley case, which enables them to get a title shot at any point against our current women's champion 2B. In this ladder match, we have Princess Peach, who was of course second in the tournament. We have Marnie and Alice, who were third and fourth place in that very same tournament. And a surprise fourth contender, Bayonetta. Now, this was originally supposed to be a three-way match, I must admit, but Bayonetta came to me earlier today and she said, 2B stole my victory in the quarterfinals. And look, if you look back at the tape, if you look back at the VODs on YouTube, it was Bayonetta that put Ursula down, that got the finisher in place, that got Ursula down for the count. But at the last second, 2B came in, threw Bayonetta out, and got the win, and eventually went on to win the tournament. Bayonetta believes that her victory was stolen, and therefore her title was stolen. She insisted on being put in this match. And hey, who am I to say no? So, a four-way ladder match, Princess Peach, Alice, Marnie, and Bayonetta for the women's smiley case. A lot of friction, a lot of moving parts in this match. It's going to be very, very hard to determine who's the front runner in this match. What are your thoughts on these four contenders?
It's going to be chaos out there, Aiden. I think it's clear. It's going to be clear to everyone that this is not going to be pretty. I think it's like we can expect. I mean, Bayonetta, has she learned her lesson? Not to let someone swoop in at the last minute, to play a little more tactically. That might be. I mean, she's smart. She's a smart witch. We might expect to see her playing a little more tactically. Waiting for her chance to strike. We'll find out if she learned a lesson. All of these wrestlers are incredible, and we've seen them put in a really, really kind of good showing in the past few weeks. We know the stakes of the smiley case. We have seen, it's but a few weeks since we saw that smiley case cashed in for a massive change.
I mean, of course, were you there? Were you on commentary for that last cash in?
I was.
Oh yeah, that was an incredible moment.
Wallace's big moment.
Yeah, of course. Who can forget the last cash in that we had? And whoever wins this match has the power to do the same thing. I
don't think any of these wrestlers are unaware of just what this could do for them.
Indeed. I think let's go down to the ring. Let's see if they're going to be shaken or which one of them will rise to the occasion. Let's go.
following contest is the Money in the Bank ladder match. To win this match, the winner is a superstar who climbs up the ladder and retrieves the briefcase with a contract inside of it to be cashed in over the next year, anytime, any place. Making her way to the ring from the Queen City, the Princess.
That was surprisingly correct. You can cash
The
it in.
princess.
You can cash it in at any time, at any place. The only thing he did wrong was call it Money in the Bank. That's not what we call it around here. Other than that, 10 out of 10.
Ken knows wrestling, just not anyone since Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So, of course, Steve Austin, famous. He was definitely around when Money in the Bank was a thing.
Importantly, he was around when Ken was a thing.
Of course, yes.
He's learned all the rules, just not any. He's not added any humans to his bank of knowledge.
No, that's true.
Since
His list of names is full.
Yep.
You got that one right. You got that one bang on.
Yeah. Well, she's from the Victorian era.
True. So he already had her in the bank. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the women's division is entirely made up of lesbian icons. Is that coincidence, or is just lesbian icons make good wrestlers? The world will never know. Wrestling is famously very gay, so that does make a lot of sense.
Some might say that it is literally the wrestling power that makes them wrestling icons. The ability to wrestle good.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
From wherever she won, Marie.
That's also true, Zach. We do only know gay icons, and that includes lesbian icons. But who will be the evil lesbian icon that sides with Mr. M next week? Only time will tell. Pick your favorite lesbian icons that might like Mr. M in the chat now.
I mean, there'd have to be some incentive, right? Like, nobody's gonna side with Mr. M.
I mean,
Not even, as Ken put it, Marie.
No, Marie would never. She's got a team. She's got an entire team of people on her side. She doesn't need Mr. M's approval.
I think Marie was Ken's ex-wife. I think that's why he knows that version of this name.
Oh, you think he reads the name I write and just goes, what is the closest name that I
Exactly.
already know?
What do I have in the bank? Yeah.
That makes sense. And as you can see above Marnie just there, the golden Wrestling is Silly women's smiley case. You're getting your first look at that right now in this match. Also, I believe later on today, you got your first look at the brand new men's smiley case. That's exciting. He just sort of sounded that one out.
Yeah. And got close for it.
Yeah, he's trying his best. He really is.
He is. He's not all there, Ken. But he tries.
He does. He does try.
We've got a lot of love for the man. He's been in the job. Some might say too long.
That's why I keep him around, because he does try his best.
Because he won't leave.
Yeah, also that.
Always a showboater.
Of course. I mean, what is she here for if not just to show off?
And of course, her costume is her hair.
Indeed, that is all hair. And of course, using her witch time to replay herself getting into the ring. Witch with the power of time. That's the beginning and end of my knowledge of Bayonetta.
And the end. And the beginning.
And the end, and the beginning. And the middle.
In that order.
Yep. Oh, and lesbian, of course, because she's part of this division. Lesbians only. Nobody in this show is straight except Mr. M.
The token straight.
Yes.
Maybe that's why he's so evil.
Ooh, big facebuster there from Bayonetta. Meanwhile, Marnie and Peach going toe-to-toe. Marnie going straight for that ladder. Maybe she wants to end this early. Of course, in this ladder match, there is no disqualifications. You can hit each other with the ladder. You can find anything that you can under the ring. Anything is up for grabs in this match. It could get very ugly. Marnie and Alice now both at the top of the ladder. This did not work well for Mackie Chase last time he was up here, but Peach and Bayonetta both trying to drag their opponents off the ladder.
Bayonetta.
Peach then throwing both of them off by tipping that ladder. Oh.
And Bayonetta will not be caught unawares again.
No. Hitting a very, very spiky backbreaker and then eating a jumping knee strike from Marnie. Marnie trying to mop up and take control, but a flying forearm from Princess Peach puts her in the driver's seat, if only temporarily. Oh, up on the shoulders. Bayonetta watching to see what's up for grabs. Oh! And just
as I said, waiting, finding her right moment.
Waiting for her. I think she's learned from 2B to, in these multi-man matches, wait for your opportunity to strike.
And of course, Alice has learned hit people with implements.
Yeah, she's over in Wonderland. They clearly do things a different way. She found herself her Vorpal blade, and she went snicker snack, you know.
Of course, their Peach with fans would be forgiven for thinking it was a tiny piano. It's not. It's just the top of the stairs.
It might have been a tiny piano. You never know. Oh. People in the front row getting an interesting view of Alice Little, but a strike to the side of the head there from Bayonetta. That cannot be good. This, as we predicted, this is utter chaos already.
Incredible to watch, though, isn't it? Isn't
Indeed.
it just a sight for sore eyes?
Alice now, 2 ladders was not enough for Alice Little. She's gone for a third. And now...
She's got a pepper grinder, a big knife, and now 2 ladders.
And
this
now
woman
2
can't be
ladders.
stopped.
Yeah, she I mean, as you alluded to, she's not new to picking up new strange weapons through her adventure. So maybe she's going to be right at home here. Oh, but the innovative offense there from Marnie with that roundhouse kick, taking Alice down.
Bayonetta, of course, making sure to scare away the decoy commentators.
Of course, the Spanish commentators for Wrestling is Silly Spanish edition.
Of course.
And now
also the decoys, though, right?
Of course.
They're in the ring to
draw attention away from us.
What we say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're at the top of the ramp. They're the decoys. But that ladder bridge, that could be very dangerous for whoever is going to end up on the bad side of that. And now Bayonetta taking a moment to really get in the head of Princess Peach. Oh,
but don't
got
get distracted.
Oh, butterfly codebreaker. But Alice is up there with trying to unlock those locks. She's already got 2. Marnie decided that she's done playing ball and goes up the other side. Oh, and just left and rights to the gut. And Alice goes careening back down to the ground. Marnie now picking up where Alice left off. And Princess Peach, though, not having any of that. Oh, Marnie keeping her grip. This does not look good. She's trying her best to try and hold on, but I don't know how long she can. Oh, falling back to earth with a deep thud. Thankfully, though, she missed that ladder. That could have been disastrous had she fallen on that ladder. Chop block from Marnie, though. Alice and Marnie really are bringing the viciousness, the ferocity. Oh no, Bayonetta is in a very precarious position right now. But she was the one that set up that ladder. She was the one that set up that ladder, so you'd think she would have kept an eye out for it, but let's see if anybody can capitalize. I think Marnie is going to try and capitalize. Oh! She tried to senton onto Bayonetta, but Bayonetta rolling out of the way at the last minute. And now Marnie just...
in the future. But here's Peach.
Peach, yeah, she did not foresee this. Princess Peach has unlocked the last lock. And Peach, while everyone else distracted, Peach opportunity has struck, and she is your new women's smiley case holder.
And Miss Money in the Bank,
King play, Peach.
What strategy from the princess? And now she has in her grasp a title opportunity at any time. What an end to an utterly chaotic match. In a match with that much chaos, it was only correct, I think, that the victory almost happened without any of us noticing. And yeah. Thank you, geeks. Thank you, geeks, for that hydrate. I am forgetting to hydrate once again, and as Hannah has pointed out in the chat, Bayonetta is not going to be happy about a second steal like that.
There's some extent in that one to which you've got to say it was going to be a steal either way, whoever won. And I just don't think Bayonetta can have that, can get her hair in a twist so much on when she was on her back on a ladder of her own making for so long.
True. She set up that ladder, so it was Chekhov's gun. You don't set up a ladder in Act 1 unless you're going to go through it in Act 3. And while she did manage to roll out the way of the ladder, she stayed there too long. She burned too much daylight and opened that opportunity for Peach. So we will maybe be seeing a rematch of Peach versus 2B at some point, depending on what 2B wants to do with that case. But previously, when there's only one smiley case, the rule was defending it every week. Now we have 2 cases on the go. You only have to defend the case every other week. We're going to alternate men's and women's cases. So don't worry, we're not going to be seeing 2 case defenses every single week. That would be too much. So every other week. So the load has been lightened for the men with their smiley case, but that just gives everyone else on the roster more time to prepare for the defense and choose their moment better.
Yeah. And that's gonna really lead to that feeling of it's possible to forget who has it.
Mm-hmm.
Those sneaky moments with the case. We live to see them, don't we?
We do indeed. That ladder match was the end of the first half of Wrestling is Silly, so we are going to be going for a very, very short break. We're going to be gone for 2 minutes. In that time, please do refresh your drinks, empty your bladders, let your dogs out, go for a smoke, whatever you need to do. We're going to be back in 2 minutes. In that time, though, who is that Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon?
Welcome back to Wrestling is Silly. Whatever Pokemon that was, it had the power of minimize, so it was too small, you couldn't see it. That was it used the attack minimize, and so you couldn't see it. That was the reason. I don't know why it broke. I'm really sad that broke. Welcome back though. Once again, thank you for that hydrate. I do have a big bottle of water, but I do keep forgetting. Everyone else take a big drink as well.
Big sippies.
Big sippies all around. Once again, thank you for joining us here at Wrestling is Silly. I want to give a few big calls to action before we continue. First of all, if you like the show, please do consider supporting us in whatever way you do. The easiest way is to be here, follow, and tell your friends about this stupid show we do every week. It's quite hard to promote this show because explaining it doesn't fit into a tweet or a skeet or a mastodon. What do you call them on Mastodon? Meets? Toots. I'm going to call them toots. Toots. It doesn't fit into a tweet or a toot or a skeet. You have to write a whole essay to try and explain what the show is. So if you like the show, please do recommend it to your friends, or do what Paul the Pole has done and gift some subs. Thank you for those 5 enjoy your gifted subs from Paul the Pole. And Paul the Pole, thank you once again for giving away those 5 subs. You've given away 11 subs now. Thank you so much for that support. Subscribing is another great way to support the show. Additionally, we have a Ko-fi if you do want to give us a little bit. Thank you, Funtime Foxy. If you want to give a little bit every month or as a one-off donation, we also have merch over there. We have stickers and t-shirts available over there for all of your Wrestling is Silly favorites. We have tiers ranging from £2 a month all the way up to £20 a month, which nets you. They net you things like booking a title shot or being on the show itself. I'll build you in the game and put you in the show. You can accompany one of your favorite wrestlers out into a match. And a huge shout out to our current £20 a month Ko-fi member Ayakara and the entirety of the VR gang. Thank you all. Thank you for your support, Ayakara, and everybody else watching in VR chat and in the regular world. Once again, please, if you like the show, please do support. And thank you everyone for being here and enabling me to do this big stupid show every week. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. And the last shout out goes to this week's guest. It is MattSpeaksWords. Thank you for joining me this week.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to come on the show. And yeah, you're right. It is. Whenever I'm trying to promote it or tell my friends about it, I find it quite difficult because you've got to say it's like wrestling but fake, and they look at you. Like, do they know?
Yeah, like it is a little bit hard to explain that it's like fake. It's like doubly fake. It's twice fake wrestling.
I usually go with it's wrestling, but you know, Garfield's fighting God.
It's wrestling, but it's even faker. I watch this guy play wrestling every week. Do they actually play? No, he just talks over it. No, they don't actually play. They just talk over it. It's a hard show to describe, but it's a fun show. Getting them in the door is the hard bit. Once they get in, they're like, "Oh, this is actually really good."
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of really good, the next half of Wrestling is Silly is incredibly good. The first match that I'm bringing you this second half is the continuation of what we thought was going to be the end of the story. Last week at Heatwave, we saw Miles Morales struggling to actually fight Red Spy, his mentor. And in the end, he couldn't do it. He couldn't bring himself to attack his mentor, instead letting himself win via countout. Which, I don't know, to me and to everyone else, but more importantly to Red Spy, that wasn't a definitive ending. That wasn't the end of the story. Red Spy wanted to see what Miles had in him. So he has demanded a rematch this week, and it is a Falls Count Anywhere match. As we all know, Falls Count Anywhere, there is no countouts, there is no disqualifications either, and you can be pinned on the outside of the ring. So what happened last week is definitely not going to happen again this week. What are your predictions going into this match?
I mean, Miles has obviously talent, but Red Spy has the experience. We all know that Red Spy has been trying to coax this Miles forward to see the true talent, awaken that sense in Spider-Man. Has he done a good enough job to get a proper match out of him? Can he, as a good spy can, motivate and incept this kind of this rage into Spider-Man to get a good fight out of him? I mean, it remains to be seen. Miles is just so good-natured.
I mean, yeah. So far, like Miles, I think he feels really, really hard done by so far. I think he's been put in a really precarious position where he doesn't want to be doing these things. He doesn't want to be fighting his mentor, but he's been put in the position where he has to. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all shakes out. I've realized, by the way, that you don't have your own personal Twitch account. I've given a shout out to the podcast account. I thought you had your own Twitch account. I got very confused.
When I do stream, it's usually on the podcast's Twitch, but my internet is not reliable enough to do that right now. So follow it anyway, and then when I do stream, when I've finally got internet, then you can watch me.
But in the meantime, before that happens, this is going to happen. Let's go down to the ring. Red Spy, Spider-Man, Falls Count Anywhere. Let's end this story once and for all, shall we?
The following contest is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Making his way to the ring from Paris, France, weighing in at 195 pounds, Spike.
And that is not the Red Spy we thought we knew.
That a turn.
The disguise has fallen. The mask is off, and the other different colored mask is now on full show. The man we all thought was Red Spy has been on the blue team this entire time. And look at him laughing at the crowd, reveling.
Saw that coming. Not me. Wait. Red Spy has been Blue Spy all along?
Red Spy has been Blue Spy this entire time. He has been leading Miles astray this entire time. This has been a long-term ploy. And it seems now he's finally trying to end it once and for all. What a deception.
Leave it.
But it's all that we could expect from such a tricky customer.
From Queens, New York, weighing in at 206 pounds, a Spider-Man.
A Spider-Man. Ken, obviously, having never read a comic in his life.
I mean, maybe he's just specifying he is a Spider-Man, because we do have two Spider-Men on this show. Maybe he's just being specific.
I suppose so. Yeah, he has seen multiple Spider-Men pass through this hallowed ring.
Mm-hmm. And a new piece of entrance music for Spider-Man this week. We did actually ask him, what are you listening to in his headphones, and the music that you're hearing right now is what he showed us. So finally what we're hearing is reflecting what he's hearing.
Unfortunately, I have a chip in my brain that doesn't allow me to hear copyrighted music, but I bet it's good.
I mean, how do you live then? How do you... Oh! Spy! Throwing Gus in the way of that Hurricane Rana. What a underhanded opening move here. Giving himself an opening to do whatever he likes until Gus gets back to his feet. Gus, however, we know he's a trooper. Oh, but a middle rope spear. Spy is not holding anything back this week. This is one hell of an opening here from the Spy. Quick lefts and rights. Oh, and a knee strike bringing Miles to his feet. Quick pin.
Low count.
Gus, very, very slow count there. Almost apprehensive to start the count on Miles. I think Gus has been in the locker room for a long time. He's seen this kind of villainy time and time again. And I think there comes to a point where it gets to you. And I think he's seen enough.
Mm-hmm.
Miles now.
Yes, of course. As we all know, well, some of you who listen to the behind the scenes podcast, it is encrypted. You'd have to find it yourself. But you'll know that that Gus, of course, his brother was killed by a heel turn.
His brother was killed by a heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't know there was a podcast. This is all news to me.
Yeah, it's secret.
Of course, yes. As opposed to like AEW has their podcast unrestricted, the Wrestling is Silly is heavily restricted. It's like,
it's called heavily encrypted.
Yeah, beautiful. Miles once again, I feel like struggling to give it his all. He landed those three amigos, but other than that, he's not really got a lot of offense in so far. But again, the mental turmoil he must be in right now. Managing to dodge out of that Pele kick there. Oh, getting up and hitting the Hurricane Rana. Red Spy putting himself in a very precarious position. The swing 1-9 connects. We saw a lot of those swing 1-9s there from the Webmaster last week at Heatwave. I think the Webmaster trying to make a pointed statement to Miles. Miles not hearing it right now. His head is elsewhere. Right in this match, Spy managing to slip out of the back door of that suplex. Oh, the backbreaker facebuster combination connects.
Goodness me.
Goodness. Miles very, very clearly taken by surprise and could not once again bring himself to attack his mentor, and he has been punished for it. Your victor, Blue Spy.
He looks angry. He's not happy with the win.
I don't think he's happy in general. I think there's a lot going on behind the eyes of that man, and he is a master strategist. I don't think we will ever understand what's going on in the head of that man. But
I think he expected more, Eden.
I think you may be right. I think he was maybe this is his really weird tough love way of getting more out of Miles, or he just wanted a better fight. Either way, he's very clearly not impressed with what he's seen.
Who can know the machinations that wheel behind the head, behind the mind of the Blue Spy? I mean, we all thought we knew the Red Spy.
We did all think we knew the Red Spy. We thought he was a noble man. We thought he was a noble teacher, but it turns out all this time he has been a nefarious, underhanded monster. Blue team. Can you believe it?
Just simply cannot.
No.
I can't, and I won't.
I refuse. But let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get it out of our heads. Let's move on to the next match. And once again, I want you to cast your mind back to Summertime Silliness, that 30-man battle royal that we saw last week at Heatwave. And one of the many standout moments in that show was Kim Kitsuragi's entrance. Kim Kitsuragi Not a man we've seen a lot from. Obviously, Harry taking a lot of the attention as far as the RCM goes. But at the Rumble, Kim Kitsuragi came in. He took out Winnie the Pooh. He took out Garfield. And then he turned his attention to the Joker. And the Joker got right back up and got right back in his face. And these two had a bit of a heated rivalry. And both of these men did excellently in the Rumble. Neither of them getting to the final four, but both really, really impressing. So once again, I figured these two men needed to settle things in the ring once again. So your next match, another fallout from the Summertime Silliness Royal Rumble. Kim Kitsuragi versus the Joker. What do you know about these two men? You must hear some stories about the Joker backstage.
I mean, of course, I have heard plenty of stories. Which ones are true, I just couldn't tell you. I've heard how he got these scars multiple different ways. And, at this point, I'm finding it difficult to figure out whether, whether he really did die or whether that was just Sandman. It's a real big question. It's a real sort of who is the Joker? I mean, who is Kim Kitsuragi? These are enigmas. I suppose. Well, not actually enigmas. The Riddler isn't fighting today, but I think the power behind this particular match is going to be in the same way between Freddy and Ichiban. We saw this chaotic pairing. We saw fireworks in the Rumble. Now we get to see it distilled down. We get to see this this chemistry played out.
I mean, in the Rumble, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot going on at once. So, like you said, we're trying to boil that down and highlight these two men and see if when all eyes are on them, when there's no other distractions, if they can still bring it. Some men will falter. Some men, like we saw earlier today, Golden Freddy faltered. Sometimes they cannot withstand the entire spotlight on them. Kim is one of those men that usually fights in tag team action, so it's going to be very interesting to see if he can handle the pressure.
Yeah, it's always nice to see people standing on their own, seeing how they are in these solo matches. The Joker obviously going to bring an incredible amount of chaos to this competition, whereas Kim, outwardly a stoic, outwardly a person composed. It will be certainly the Joker has thrived in those kinds of relationships before, and it remains to be seen just how well Kim is going to stand up to it.
Are you comparing Kim Kitsuragi to Batman?
Kim Kitsuragi doesn't have quite as much money.
That is of course the only difference between the two. And I think that should be the final word before we go down to the ring and see if these two men can handle the heat of singles action. Kim Kitsuragi versus the Joker.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Rangers from Belgium, weighing in at 212
From Belgium?
pounds,
That's news to me.
Kid Sue Randy.
He tried. He
A
did
lawyer
try
has
that
just
time.
come through and handed me a piece of paper. I have to say, nobody knows who the Batman is.
No, of course, no. Kim Kitsuragi may well be Batman. We will never know.
I cannot. I am not implying that. Nobody knows who the Batman is.
No, of course.
And is a criminal. Batman is a criminal and a terrorist.
Of course, yes. Not a single person here knows who any of the Batmen are. We haven't had various Batmans on the show that have all shown me ID. Joker, very interesting, not coming out in his trademark casual garb that we've come to know here at Wrestling is Silly. Coming out in his full trench coat and suit. He's maybe done taking himself as a bit of a joke. Maybe he's playing serious all of a sudden.
Yes. And you do have to ask why.
I mean, for the longest time, the Joker was sort of being a bit of a punchline of Wrestling is Silly, and maybe he's realized that, you know, when you dress up in a t-shirt with a picture of a tie on it, you invite those punchline comparisons. So perhaps he's done being that joke.
Perhaps he's tired of pretending.
Maybe. And he wants to remind people that he is a threat. And this is his time. Ooh, exploded suplex there from Kitsuragi, though. Very, very well positioned, very, very no nonsense kind of fighting. Ooh, Enzaragi ducked by the Joker with the spinning back elbow there, bringing Kim down to his feet. And now, wrenching back and stamping on the back of Kim. It's this combination of unorthodox viciousness that we see from the Joker. Ooh, twirling neck breaker. Again, we're not used to seeing him take himself or his matches this seriously. Irish whip into that big boot. This is a new side of the Joker. And like you said yourself, who is the Joker? I think we're seeing a whole new side. Beautiful moonsault into a scorpion death drop there from the Joker. Really taking no prisoners. And even a little homage to the great John Cena there. And now,
I do believe that the Joker and John Cena have come to blows at some point. I think on the set of Peacemaker season 7.
I think you would think they both could bond in their hatred of Batman, but clearly not. Kim now managing to get some offense in, and it's a very straight up just shots and chops, a big thrust kick there, but Kim not relying on any big outlandish action. Ooh, spoke too soon there. Tope Suicida through that middle rope right into the chest of the Joker.
And that's it. He will surprise you. Outwardly stoic, Kim. There is light behind those eyes.
Indeed,
in fact,
indeed.
He wears the glasses so that you can't tell.
And now on the outside, we saw, just as you mentioned, light behind the eyes, we saw running, shooting star press. We saw all sorts of big flashy moves, the kind of things you wouldn't expect from Kim. Oh, but the knee to the face, just cutting all of that energy out, and then just sitting all his weight on the lungs of Kim. The Joker really knows how to cut off somebody's momentum like that. Oh, and then speaking of momentum, an expert in using Kim's own momentum into that big Saito suplex. Kim, though, breaking up that collar and elbow tie-up, taking control. Joker one step ahead, though. Oh, big elbows to the gut.
Reversals.
Yeah, these two both very talented technical wrestlers in different ways. The wrist control, but the reversal once again by Kim. Deep elbow drag. Deep arm drag, sorry, and then the step up enziguri. Joker having to pull himself up by the ropes after that. Once again, Kim taking control, putting Joker on the ropes, and I think he was trying for a monkey flip there, but the Joker once again had his number and just guillotining him off that top rope. It could have been a very, very good moment for Kim, but the Joker once again one step ahead.
Fascinating match, making it so difficult to tell who at any given point has the upper hand.
Momentum is flying back and forth every single second. Again, another beautiful moonsault death drop there. Very, very innovative offense from the Joker. Gets the cover. And Kim kicking out at a very, very close to rolling out, taking a moment, but the Joker a little bit too fast. An angle slam there. Not expecting. Again, we see the Joker very, very secretly might be a fan of like old school WWE. He's busting out the John Cena's and now the Kurt Angles. Oh, as Kim comes careening back to Earth.
You don't often get that kind of insight. That's new. That's something. That's a part of Joker that perhaps we haven't seen before. But I wouldn't put it past him to have just learned all that stuff to throw you off.
Yeah, I think you may well be correct there. This all could just be maybe he's trying to get in my head the same way he's getting into Kim's. But he's up on the top rope now. Oh,
just
very dangerous move there.
Just barely clearing the tiny piano.
But he made up for it with a beautiful flying neckbreaker, and now getting out of the vertical suplex, the hitting the chop block. Joker still in control, even though he's hitting very increasingly precarious moves. Oh, Kim going for some offense, but again, the Joker in with the blocks. Oh, forearm right to the face there, and there's the knee strike and the Poison Rana. And you got to appreciate the positioning on that Poison Rana. It was between the ramp and the mats. That is a concrete floor that Kim's head just made contact with.
Again, we're just seeing this calculation. You never know what part of this chaos he's playing towards and what part is just coming out as it comes.
Yeah. What is part of his plan, and what is the Joker just accidentally doing something real cool? Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna beat the count? I think he can just about beat the count. Leave a lot of very, very close calls today, but he is coming back with a fiery passion, locking in that knee bar, wrenching the knee, wrenching the ankle. The Joker having to punch his way out of it. As a rare little burst of energy. I think Kim's realizing that it's basically now or never for him after that huge onslaught on the outside. Exploding suplex, holding onto the leg for the pin though. Could barely get a 2 count there.
Yeah, it's he's not had the upper hand for the start of this match. So these pins.
No, but he's got what appears to be like a label lock kind of thing locked in, really wrenching back. Joker though, again using momentum in his favor to try and maneuver out of it. And again, again guillotining Kim on that top rope. And the huge Joker stomp there. Gets a very, very deep cover. This has got to be it for Kim.
Not quite.
No.
Is he going to have the energy to do that again? I'm not sure.
It takes a lot of strength in the legs to leap that high, but Kim managing to reverse managing to catch the fist of the Joker. Hitting the ropes though. And a chop right to the throat that time. You don't have to have the hardest strikes if you can position them like that. And a chop to the throat hits as hard as that step up Enziguri did. Kim though, laser targeting on those arms. It's very interesting, very technical style that we're seeing from Kim. He's hitting the submissions and he's targeting the arms. It's very, very well positioned. He's not letting the Joker's mind games get in his head. Landing that huge drop kick.
Damage.
I mean, this isn't the first time that Kim has had to deal with somebody as high intensity as the Joker. Let's be real. Northern Light suplex, big bridge, getting the cover. Joker forcing his way out though. Kim's got something ready. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful flying foot there. Well-educated feet. Center of the ring. Couldn't close the door there.
He feels like he's pulling back. I mean, Kim clearly on the bottom of his energy tank, but
he's got something prepared. Ooh,
bit of fire.
He went for another one though, but the Joker had his number. Joker back on top now, and another huge stomp gets the cover.
To the end.
No, Kim kicks out once again. The leg drop right on the neck though. Could that be it? Like you said, I think he's at the end of his barrel of energy now. And that takes all the air out of your lungs. He's going to be struggling to breathe after all that. This cannot be looking good for the lieutenant. He's going for another leg drop. Oh, Kim
not quite got the energy to keep returning fire, making those reversals.
Rolling out of the way though. Rolling out of the ring again to avoid the pinfall and managing to get out of the way of that tornado. And now using that brief opening he had to try and get some extra offense here, but returning to the ring because he knows that last time he was out on the outside with the Joker, he took all that assault. The Joker knows how to use the arena to his advantage. Goes to that monkey flip once again, up on the top rope. Ooh, beautiful springboard backflip DDT. Maybe he's not the stoic textbook wrestler we thought he was. Codebreaker again, focused on the arm. And so every time he again the rolling arm bar, focus on the arm, hit the arm bar like this it's textbook. It's flashy, but it's textbook at the same time. And now, Joker up on the up hand, got Kim up in the fireman carry, taking him over to the corner, hits the snake eyes. And you got to think with those thick glasses, that's going to hit even harder on the forehead, on the face.
Goodness, yeah.
Of Kim, and now Joker going for the choke. Gus, wise enough to break it up. Oh, now all the weight of Joker landing on that arm. Joker up on the top rope. What could this mean for Kim? High risk move, but can he hit the high reward? Ooh, it does not hit. I don't know what he was going for, but Kim definitely unintentionally staggered out of the way of that. That could be the opening that Kim needs. Meeting the minds there, I think 2 elbows combined. Ooh!
Oh, Gus, no!
Whatever happened, Gus dragged down by the Joker. I think the Joker tried to use that as an opening for something, but Kim not letting him go, getting him in that Jujikatami armbar once again. But Joker, he could tap out all he wants, but Gus could not see the tap out. Back on his feet now, though. And now Kim clearly not happy, hitting a huge dropkick of his own. Gus not happy about his armbar not being seen by the referee, but he's got something. Are we going to see one more of those? That huge back kick. That flying super kick. He gets the cover. Gus a little bit staggered, counting a little bit slow. But
yet he makes it.
Gets that very, very slow 3 count. Gus has been through the wars today, but
Certainly has.
the Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi coming out on top. What a show of force.
Yes, I mean, that's a real turnaround. Kim really didn't seem to have control of the match for quite some time. We saw some great wrestling, don't get me wrong. It was impressive to see that many reversals that quickly between, and to almost go toe to toe with the Joker on reversals is something to behold. You could see him starting to run out of energy toward the end, but then something, I don't know what it was, lit a fire under Kim.
I think I don't know what it was. I think maybe one of those moves just hit his head just right, that it turned him back on after he was completely incapacitated. But he found that energy in the bottom of that barrel, and even after the Joker managed to escape with that ref bump, he got the pin, he got the cover. That huge flying super kick. I don't know what he calls that, but that is a vicious move. That is one to look out for. But what an opening from Kim. But I also want to bring attention to the Joker in that match, because the Joker, I think we all stopped taking the Joker seriously for a time, and I think it's about time that we remembered he is quite a reasonable threat.
Oh, for sure. And nowhere was it more evident than in the ring tonight.
In the ring, in the outside, on the ramp, on the concrete floor, he used the entire arena as a weapon. And And combined with that innovative, unpredictable offense, he's going to be one to look out for. If I'm a title holder, if I'm a smiley case holder, I'm keeping an eye out for the Joker right now.
Unpredictable is certainly what it is, and you just don't want to end up in the position with stakes and not seeing him coming.
Indeed. Speaking of unpredictable, our tag title match last week at Heatwave was anything but predictable. It was probably the least predictable outcome. The Fight Boyfriends ended their incredible reign as tag team champions. All the way back in November, they acquired those belts, but those belts have been taken off them by the Springfield Sports Center, who are in action right now against members of the Snack Pack. And they are right now one of the most dominant forces in the tag division, or maybe in Wrestling is Silly in general. Because these two men are an absolute... These three men, sorry. But tonight we're seeing Homer and Matt, which was the configuration that we saw at Heatwave last week. These three men are an absolute force to be dealt with. They are incredible in the ring. And what do you think about these? What do you think about the Springfield Sports Center?
I think they are known for their commitment to training, to they being so kind of geographically centered. They are a close-knit team, tactically messy, but emotionally unstable.
Yeah, I think unstable in basically every way. Like these these three men now, they are. You never know what kind of a fight you're gonna get when the Sports Center come at you, but you know it's gonna be vicious and hard hitting. And I feel sorry for anyone that steps in the ring like on the other side of these two. This week we've got Waluigi and Pepsi Man. I mean, two of kind of the background players of the Snack Pack, I gotta say, but after once again they both really showed in the Summertime Silliness Battle Royal that they can be a force to be reckoned with. They have put themselves forward to face the Sports Center in their first match as champions. I gotta say,
and that's the interesting thing is to see Waluigi, especially, but also Pepsi Man, stepping forward out of the shadows.
Indeed,
to say this is my story. I am a champion.
It's actually quite impressive to see them like actively step out of the background like this. But I do not envy their position against the Sports Center right now.
I wouldn't want to be in a ring with them.
Nope. I'm putting my money on this being a quick one, I gotta say. Shall we get down to the ring and see how quick it's gonna be?
Let's find out.
Let's make our way to the ring. Boo Day RPG, thank you for those 12 months of subscription. Thank you for an entire year of silliness joining us here every week. Homer and Matt here, really taking a moment to pose with those gold tag title belts around their waists for the first time. If you,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you want to grab yourself one of those branded Springfield Sports Center T-shirts, you can do so at our Ko-fi store.
Yes, it's a great logo, and maybe you can signal to everyone else just how terrifying you are in the gym.
I mean, the only way to become a member of the Sports Center is to be as terrifying as they are. So, I don't I don't rate your chances. But wear the shirt anyway. Now these two men really, really excited to make their tag team debut. Waluigi and Pepsi Man.
You wouldn't have not a tag team you would have seen coming. Certainly, if you didn't know any better, but we do, and we know that both of these have a tendency to.
Then again, you could say the same thing about Springfield Sports Center. I mean, Homer Simpson and Matt from Wii Sports, not a combination you would have thought. This time 2 years ago.
Look into those eyes, and you can see the fire that burns within is the same within each. And in a way, if you could look into Pepsi Man's eyes, you'd see the same mischief that and will to prove oneself that Waluigi has always carried within him.
I think that's true. I think both of these men, perennial underdogs. Waluigi, of course, the always outshone by the rest of the plumbers. Pepsi Man always outshone by Coca-Cola. Two perennial underdogs. I think they're both sick of being underdogs.
Mm-hmm. And to answer the question in the chat from Bude, Pepsi Man does cycle, but not recycle. I have to go in there.
He will only ever cycle once. Mm-hmm. He will never cycle twice. Oh. Waluigi get it. Waluigi managing to get quite a good sleeper hold here on Matt Wii Sports. Ooh, beautiful rising knee strike there from Pepsi Man. But
God, just watching the fury in the ring. Watch the Springfield Sports Center just come. The amount of velocity that they bring.
Yeah, they start at 60 miles an hour and they only go up from there. But Waluigi and Pepsi Man getting a rare opening here. We're seeing a sharpshooter here from Pepsi Man. Homer not having any of it though, powering his way out of it as Matt hangs Waluigi up to dry on those ropes. Oh, and a huge military press there. Seemingly a side effect from Pepsi Man. I'm unsure what exactly that was. But, another rising knee strike in the corner into a bulldog. Homer being caught unawares in a rare moment of lack of judgment. Getting a dragon screw, though, to reverse the momentum. And meanwhile, on the outside, Matt taking Waluigi to town. Ooh, Homer showing all of his strength here, throwing Pepsi Man around. Not a small man to throw around either.
He's made of condensed aluminium.
Yeah, he's
a little bit of Pepsi.
Yeah, he is 330 mils of Pepsi in a whole lot of aluminum. But as Bude in the chat pointed out, Waluigi and Pepsi Man kind of getting in each other's way in the early stages here. But showing a lack of cohesion that the Sports Center can take advantage of. They are nothing but they are one of the most coherent teams in wrestling. Is silly, these two. So
an interesting backstory to Pepsi Man, of course, being invented to advertise soft drinks before switching to learning everything he knows about wrestling in a kind of superhero boot camp, and then paid coming from a program of privilege, I suppose, with all that money behind him, and then of course coming out into to make his name in an indie wrestling space as Beppis Michael, who failed to gain much traction, so he's gone back to Pepsi Man.
Yeah, he tried to strike it out on his own as Beppis Michael, but it couldn't stick. It wasn't going to stick, so he had to go back to his old faithful. Matt Wii Sports single-handedly trying to take out both of the team members. I think he underestimated the snack pack just a little bit. And now he's suffering for it. But Homer, on the other hand, keeping Waluigi in check while going to assist Matt with taking down old Beppis Michael. Ooh, and a beautiful tope suicida there from Waluigi. Ooh, and a leaping bulldog. Waluigi's face inches from Spanish commentary there. That could have been disastrous for him. That could have ended his career, let alone the match.
And of course, better them than us.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're up here by the ramps. We're just outside of shot, but Spanish commentary insists on being down there in the action. And I've told them it's nicer up here, but they won't listen.
Yeah. I mean, that does help us. They are acting as decoys.
They're very, very true. Matt being thrown into that commentary table, but Homer not letting him capitalize with a couple of swinging neck breakers. He's doled that out a few times to both members of the snack pack, but Pepsi Man getting out of that wrist lock. Again, trying to capitalize on the momentum. Meanwhile, back suplex onto Waluigi on the outside. Again, all these moves hit 10 times harder on the outside, I gotta say. Nothing takes it out of you like landing on those mats. It's a very, very thin layer of protection between you and the concrete floor. Oh, vicious overhand chop, sending Homer careening into the commentary table. Matt hits shortly after. Snack Pack in a rare moment of on the upper hand here. Could this be it? Matt slipping back onto the outside he's not done with Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man again throwing him back to the inside. Oh, but a vicious lariat taking Pepsi Man down. And he goes for another one. Pepsi Man careening into the turnbuckle there. Oh, and the rope-assisted powerbomb. Meanwhile, in that bottom corner, Waluigi keeping Homer down. But we've seen the strategy from the Sports Center before. They are more than happy to let one of them take a beating if the other one can get a pin. And I think that may be the strategy right now, but it doesn't seem to be working out too well for Matt in the ring.
I think, to be honest, I think Homer is the one looking to really hold down Waluigi. Can
Indeed.
Matt hold out long enough? That's going to be the question.
But the multi-pack lock got secured in there, and Homer had to come in to try and separate it. And I think he's going for... Oh, that vicious jackknife hits. Center of the ring. Waluigi in, but a moment too soon. Matt, a little bit on spaghetti legs, wasn't there to stop Waluigi. Oh, and a very, very huge military slam there. Pepsi Man, can he get up to his feet fast enough to break it up? No, but Waluigi able to kick out.
We can see Homer honing in on Waluigi. Smells weakness.
I think he's
taking a beating.
He's seen the weak link here is Waluigi. Pepsi Man hitting that GTS, that go to sleep, but Matt was right there to punish him with a series of clothesline, maintaining wrist control to get the third clothesline in. Waluigi keeping Matt. I think Matt's going for that sit-out powerbomb that he's used to end a lot of matches before. Waluigi, though, there to break up the pin. Homer up on his feet. His timing was a little bit off. That could have been disastrous for the snack pack. Vicious spinebuster, though. Could this be it? No. Waluigi not taking enough and beating, but a huge spear connects.
I wouldn't have liked to have seen the backstage conversations if Waluigi hadn't managed to break up that pin.
No, but maybe he won't have to, because Homer's now isolated, and he's tried before to take on the team on his own, but it doesn't work. Very, very spiky Hurricane Rana there. And Waluigi goes for the DDT, but the short arm clothesline connects. And another very spiky Hurricane Rana here from Pepsi Man, doling them out for both members of the Springfield Sports Center. Matt, though, he's taken his rest. He's back on point. The full Nelson slam. Oh, and I think he's eyeing up for another one of these big, big beast bombs. No, Pepsi Man had him scouted. And the big back suplex connects. Matt is in a very precarious position here.
He's taken a beating all match here.
But he's managed to kick out. But I think he's Another GTS connects. And another pin. This is very, very bad news for Matt. Ooh, but he manages to kick out just before Homer couldn't get there in time. Ooh.
Weakness of this divide and conquer strategy, of course, from the Springfield's side. It's gonna be if Matt can't kind of take a beating and keep coming for long enough against Pepsi Man.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, the divide and conquer strategy only works until you find people bigger than you. And Pepsi Man has put it one hell of a fight so far. But that power slam onto the outside may put him out of action, especially at this late stage in the game. The German suplex from Waluigi, though, and the Walu Rainmaker, that could be bad news for Homer. Matt, though, right there to break up the pin with that double axe handle. Pepsi Man slow to get back up to his feet. The DDT connects and Waluigi now out. The flying shoulder tackle taking Pepsi Man out, and now both of these men targeting Pepsi Man in the ring. Meanwhile, Waluigi very much only just coming back to his senses. Matt noticing Waluigi getting back in. And they're belly to belly.
You expect Waluigi to manage to sneak in, but no, Matt was ready for him.
And Matt attempting another belly to belly, but Waluigi had his number. A very vicious submission hold there from Homer. Not seen that offense for him before. I think he's very much thinking on the fly here. But he dodged the flying forearm and hit the drop kick. Homer showing his improv skills here. Things aren't going to plan, but he is changing his tact on the fly, and it's going very much in his favor. What's he got planned for Waluigi?
It's the inanimate carbon rod from the turnbuckle.
Yeah. And I mean, Homer's not a small guy, so that connects. And followed up by, I think he's going to hit the spear. Oh. That is not a move that you want to be on the receiving end of from anyone, but let alone a man of this stature. But meanwhile, on the outside, Pepsi Man mounting a defense against Matt. And Waluigi being picked apart on the inside by Homer. Struggling to get to his feet after that leg DDT. But, I think you ducking out of each other's way right now. I think he's going to go for that jackknife again. That power plant jackknife. And he planting Waluigi into the center of the ring. Pepsi Man couldn't get into the ring to save him. And the Sports Center get the win with that power plant jackknife. What a show.
And Homer that game, all the way through that, not even trying to put Waluigi on the mat, trying to put him 6 feet under.
Yeah, the Sports Center, they don't try and end matches, they try and end careers. This is a vicious team, one really, really to keep an eye on. But I want to talk about Pepsi Man there, because Pepsi Man, he was right there at the apron. He could have gone in to break up that pin, but instead just didn't.
No, didn't bother. Are you saying...
I mean, it could be nothing. It could be nothing. It could be in the heat of the moment you didn't realize. Maybe it's nothing, but maybe he got a little shaken up. Maybe he. I don't know. I'm just saying what I'm seeing.
I mean, listen. I would have forgiven, him for being angry with Waluigi. Waluigi clearly the weak link in that. Like the kind of slightly weaker competitor in the tag team. But are you saying that if Pepsi Man did get shaken up, that he'd lost the ring pull? He let him go?
Yeah, he like you said, the multi-pack very much came disconnected in the later stages of this match, and I think I don't know if it was intentional or if there was just a communication error, or again maybe he didn't see that mask is very constrictive, but something may be cracking off between the snack pack, or again, it could be nothing. I don't know.
Could be nothing. I mean, listen, they have been a value pack. They have been together this whole way. I couldn't see Pepsi Man to be being sold separately.
No, I mean, you buy the entire meal deal. What's a meal deal without a drink? I mean, but again, it could be nothing. I don't know. Moving swiftly on to our headline event this week. Once again, going back, summertime silliness, the 30-man battle royal, one man or one being came out on top with that briefcase, and that was Garfield. And we've already seen the second place contender in Mackie Chase. He had his Twitch title shot this week. But our third place contender, he doesn't seem quite finished with Garfield. So, defending the smiley case this week, Garfield is going up against God. The unholy versus the holy. The almighty versus the almighty, but in a bad way. And very, very interestingly,
in the case of lasagna,
or the almighty versus the all meaty. Thank you for that. And and it's interesting that God is. I've just checked backstage. God's out alone this week. No Doug. No Doug with him this week. And of course, this could just be a booking thing. Maybe Doug has a match somewhere else. But if you remember the summertime silliness, God came in. First thing he did was chokeslam Doug Ziggler over that top rope to eliminate him. So perhaps, and again, could be nothing, could be something. Maybe Doug is a little bit mad. Maybe Doug's taking that a little bit seriously.
Paradise?
Maybe it's trouble in paradise between the Dirty Dogs. But either way, Doug is not out here rooting for his best friend, his tag team companion this week, and that could mean something for God's chances at taking the case off Garfield. But Garfield has been without a plan. He's just sort of been meandering chaos for the last however long it's been, since it feels like millennia since he entered our lives. Now he's got the case. Now he's got to have a plan. What do you think his moves are?
It's gonna be pretty. I don't know, frankly. There is no way of knowing what he's going to do next. We have on both of these kind of characters, both of these massive personalities, we have years of lore, and they have long histories of destroying, mainly, I couldn't speculate, to be honest, Eden, what we're gonna see.
I don't think there's any way of knowing what's inside the head of either of these men. So I think there's been enough talk. I think it's time for the main event. Garfield holding that new look smiley case.
And it is a smart looking case indeed.
It is indeed.
Weighing in at 276 pounds, the final.
It is a very snazzy looking case, but Garfield seemingly carrying it without a care. There's no reverie in the eyes of him. I don't think he cares about this case.
I don't know if there is reverie. There's no pity. There's no. What can you see behind those eyes?
Black holes, emptiness.
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Mondays.
Interesting though. instead of the case, we saw no lantern. The lantern that many thought contained the soul of John. No lantern this week, just the case.
Interesting.
This is the first time we've ever seen God in singles action since the Deity Dogs formed.
And, like, some might say that he was introduced to wrestling by Doug.
I think definitely, like, while he was wrestling before Doug, he really came into his own once he met Doug. And I think it's nice to see he's still wearing that Deity Dogs branded robe. I think that may be a sign that the dogs aren't he did not break them up with that choke slam.
Yeah, but I mean, ball's not really in his court anymore.
No, I mean,
yes, he is a vengeful god, but really, Doug's the one who needs to to give the forgiveness. They say only God forgives.
Very true. This God may be a forgiving God, but is Doug a forgiving Doug? So thank you for that. Thank you for that hydrate and that stretch there, Gerendria. Everyone, get up. It's been a long stream. Big stretch. Big stretchy for the headline event.
Dear, I dislocated my shoulder climbing the other day, and I need to do a lot more stretching.
Oh, that sounds. I thought when you said a dislocated my shoulder, I thought you meant stretching just then.
Just now.
That was you stretched too far then.
Well, there were loads of E's on the stretch.
Ah, that's true. You did big stretchy. God and Garfield. Ooh, huge Uranage there from God to open this contest. God couldn't get a second one though. Garfield had his number left and right. A very educated feat from Garfield. We're seeing, and a gut buster there. We're seeing a very, very interesting new look, a new attitude from Garfield recently. It seems like he's finally got himself a plan of action. But I don't know if that plan of action is going to be obvious to anyone. I definitely don't know what it is. Oh, a small clothesline from Garfield into a huge lariat from God, and then just face planting Garfield into the ground. God not fucking around. He's going Old Testament on Garfield right now. Returning fire on those stomps that Garfield gave from earlier in the match.
Certainly, the only way we're going to figure out, who's going to have the upper hand here is by consulting the Book of John.
Fuck you. A springboard shoulder tackle from God gives him the upper hand, and now a series of clotheslines. The old, the new, and the secret third testament that only the Mormons care about. And now, a series of stomps here. I think God feels a little bit cheated by the end of the Rumble. Like, all he had to do was fall over the top rope to win the match. Ooh, managing to reverse that back suplex into a crossbody expertly. Like, I feel like this match is the decider that God feels like he deserves. I mean, going over the top rope is not a way to lose a title opportunity, but that's how things go in the Rumble.
Yep. And like you said, you managed to pulling this into a crossbody. He knows how to put bodies on crosses. That's for sure.
Yeah, crosses and bodies is something he's very, very not new to at all. Huge splash there into a bear hug. Very, very unorthodox offense. Fatboy Busy 1300. Thank you for joining us here for this headline event, God versus Garfield 4. The smiley case briefcase. Oh, the thunderclap separates the bear hug into a huge lariat and a second one. Garfield sweeping out the leg.
Absent a tail, of course, Garfield, having gone through a horrific mutation after A cold oven lasagna.
Indeed, indeed. But he say absent a tail, but he's weaving his tail right now in front of us, and we can only see what the next chapter is soon. Another huge Uranage intercepting a lariat attempt from Garfield, but Garfield getting the boots up. These two giants really going back and forth. Momentum flowing like... I can't even finish that sentence before the momentum shifts once again. Huge lariat taking God down. And now, gripping the back of the head and just slamming the Almighty into the mat. Garfield in full control right now. But for how long? Throwing God into the ropes. Ooh! Intercepting with a Thez press. I think biting at the
Garfield.
face of God. We don't see that very often here.
No, and it's not the face he's biting, and contrary to how it looks, it is the soul.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at those teeth. Those teeth can go through more than skin. They go through your very being. God dragging himself up by the ropes, but managing to reverse. Oh, Garfield reversing right back with a step up into Giri. Throwing God down into the center of the mat. Can he capitalize on this? Series of stomps onto God, keeping him down. Taking his time, slowing the pace right down. He seemingly wants to punish God. And now, wrenching, seemingly trying to wrench the halo off his head. Deep Saito suplex there.
He's trying to pull the, not knowing that God doesn't have a soul.
Did out the torture rack there. Oh, God attempting the famous there, a move he learned from Doug Ziggler, but Garfield intercepting into the powerbomb. And now God, the sleeper hold is locked in. And being hit with a crossbody of his own. This is it. These two very much have each other's numbers.
Of course, Garfield, known for hating Monday. Of course, nobody really ever knew why. But of course, it's because that's the day that God started creating the universe.
That is the day in which God created the heavens and the earth, and Garfield could not stand that.
Yep. He's hated everything God's done since.
Yeah. I think perhaps creating the heavens and the earth may have interrupted Garfield from his slumber. And if there's one thing cats hate, it's being woken up.
True.
But he attempted that rolling senton off the top rope, but God managing to slip out of the way and now just showboating after getting just that one up on Garfield. Maybe celebrating a little bit too soon. No! The Famouser hits! That's Doug Ziggler's finisher, the Famouser hits. But it's not enough. It's not enough to keep the unholy being that is Garfield down. His holiness versus the unholy one. This is a match for the ages. God ascending to the heavens, and the splash connects once again. Garfield couldn't get out of the way fast enough. Stepping over the unholy one as he ascends once again up to that top rope. And another huge, I got diving headbutt that time. Gets the cover.
Garfield like the Red Sea.
Indeed. Cutting Garfield in half. Going for that lariat. Garfield, though, had his number, and the headbutt connects. Garfield once again coming back from nowhere and now just seemingly clawing at the face of God. I think it's sort of an iron claw there. God managing to beat his way out of it, though, but having those claws of Garfield sunken into your face like that, that's got to have some form of effect, though. Beautiful.
It's like he was going for the pineal gland, which, of course, God doesn't have. He doesn't have a brain.
Yeah, he's beyond any of that.
Concept.
The pin, though. Garfield seemingly not with it enough to grab the ropes, but managing to force his way out of the cover and roll out so it couldn't happen again. But a beautiful combination of moves from God there. I think Garfield might be in a bit of danger here. Oh, a power slam on the outside. This, again, doesn't look good for Garfield right now.
It looks like danger.
Went for the belly-to-belly, but the headbutt. Garfield very, very hard-headed. Managing to not get the upper hand, but get God to let go. But now he's in a very precarious position. God up again. Oh! That heavenly elbow drop, and God returning for another one. Or maybe just showboating for the crowd. He's very... As soon as he gets a little bit of an upper hand, he's very much a showboater.
He does need everyone to know that he did it.
Mm-hmm. He's a very, very proud God. But Garfield getting opportune pin now. Not enough to seal away the almighty. No, but the lasagna claw is in. The lasagna claw. Could this be it? No, God is fighting out of it. We've seen many people be put away by that lasagna claw, but God is not giving in. The snake eyes connect, and Garfield is out of it for the moment. Oh, beautiful jackknife suplex there. Gets the cover. And God is victorious. The Almighty has sealed away Garfield and taken the briefcase.
Good grief. And some might say he deserved it for that fight. I think it was Garfield put him under intense pressure, but misdirected. I think he was trying to pull God's soul out through his eyes, which of course God doesn't have any of those things.
Indeed, I mean it's a unique offense that Garfield has. He doesn't target the body, he targets the soul, and God clearly is above all that. And now I knew Money in the Bank. He said it, and now I'm parroting it. I knew smiley case holder. God. What a show. What an absolute show. What a main event. What a show it has been. And now the credits roll as we come to the end of the show for this week. Matt, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Here is your moment while I update the credits that I forgot to do. Here is your moment. Plug away. Tell me about all of the cool things you do in the internet and in real life.
Okay, well, if you want to hear probably the longest amount of me speaking committed to audio, then you can go to the Life's a Pitch podcast, which is available everywhere you would find every good podcast retailer. And it's where we make stupid movies, like pitches for movies based on the titles that our audience, which could include you, gives us. We don't get to choose what the titles are. We just have to roll with it. So we make up the plots, do the casting, all that sort of thing, the big concept for the movie, and talk to you about it. It's good fun. Eden's on the show quite a lot. You should.
It's a very, very good show.
I also, if you're in the north of England, or
I'm there now.
UK, generally, then you like gaming of any kind, board, tabletop, video, then you can listen to the Sheffield Gaming Podcast. It's where we talk about events going on in Sheffield for gamers, and just generally the North, stuff like that. Go to sheffield.games to find out what the collective of people around my way are doing over there, to also hear me talking about those things.
I will admit I've not listened to the Sheffield Gaming Podcast because I do not live in Sheffield, but Life's a Pitch, definitely every week I listen, and it never fails to be. I even listen when I'm on it, and it's such a good show. Go listen to that. Fucking hilarious. If you like this flavor of nonsense that is loosely connected to a thing, Life's a Pitch is just that, but with film titles instead of wrestlers.
Pretty much, there's a spiritual bond between these two shows.
There is a straight line between the two. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you again. Thank you for joining me again. It's always a joy to have you on. Thank you everyone in chat for joining me. Thank you once again to everyone in the VR chat watch party. Thank you, Ayakara, for supporting the show on Ko-fi. Thank you, Paul, for donating those 5 gifted subs. It's been a hell of a show, a hell of a night of wrestling. Thank you all. We will be back for more of this next time. What's going to happen next week? We've already got our mixed tag confirmed for next week. One of our smiley cases will be defended next week, and all that and more. So please do not miss next week's Wrestling is Silly. We're on a tear after Heatwave, and it's only going up from here. Let's end as we always do by doing a bit of a raid. Who shall we raid into? Now, I'm looking at the people that I am following. I thought, is anybody playing anything that's related to the main event we just had? But no, nobody's playing any Garfield or God-related video games on Twitch. Why would anybody be playing Garfield video games? But how do you feel about raiding into Full Focus playing Super Mario Sunshine? I enjoy Super Mario Sunshine. Let's go and do that. I mean, I say I enjoy Super Mario Sunshine. I enjoy the concept of Super Mario Sunshine. I don't actually enjoy it.
I enjoyed it at the time when it was the new Mario, and then I realized how hard it was.
I got the 3D remake, and it's like the controls are really weird on the Wii, on the Switch. Sorry, maybe it's just me, but I don't know. Controls are a bit too sensitive for my liking. Anyway, Full Focus is playing Super Mario Sunshine. We're going to raid into them. Full Focus has been on the show before, so go and say hi to him. Great little channel. Even if all you do is drop the raid message and then leave, that's good enough for me. But until next time, Buccaneer, Buckafar, wherever the buck you are, I hope you're having a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one, and love you, bye.